Hello and welcome to another edition of Game Green. I'm your host, Andrew Rodriguez. I'm just going to talk about a little bit of things that I like to call safety. Safety requires me, to tell you that how to cut and how to properly, well, you don't want to get hurt. I don't want to see you hurt, so I'm just going to show you a couple of tricks so you cannot cut yourself. One, knife. Very freaking sharp. I'm telling you guys, these X-Acto blades, and especially this one right here, it hurts. I have cut myself maybe once or twice in my lifetime. I've never removed a finger, but kind of proud that I had those scars during my scout times. And speaking of scouts, a trusty Swiss Army knife. Yes, not really normally used in builds and this magnitude, but the blades are very sharp, they're very reliable, and it's good for actually younger people. And folks, if you are doing this as for a project, remember, safety first. When you're cutting, always cut away from you. Always cut away from everyone else. So this is one thing. Second, my micro saw. Saws are good just for maybe if you're cutting through balsa wood or anything like that. I'm not particularly fond of balsa wood because, let's face it, balsa wood tends to break too easily, and it's good for like maybe small projects, but they don't have any lasting time. Sharpening stone is really great because you need to sharpen your tools. If you have an X-Acto blade, just throw them out. But if you're using a regular standard knife, I suggest a nice little sharp stone. And last but not least is a standard hobby knife, which is, I prefer the micro blades. People like to buy the huge X-Acto knives. I prefer the small micro blades because I really like the details they let. It's also really good for detailing. And that's about it. This is just a little thing about safety. Remember, when you're cutting, always cut on a standard board. Something that is very hard. When you're drying something, or when you're trying to make it through sections, I suggest you have a nice little metal grid so you could actually place it down and actually use them as lines. Also keep your hands and fingers away from the blade when you're cutting, so always have them part from part. And that's about it. Guys, I'm just saying, if you are going to do some of these projects that I'm doing, just do it safely. Oh, and yes, safety goggles. Though I don't own a pair of my own, I do have a couple of glasses, which kind of actually are big enough to cover my full eyes. But always wear their safety glasses. Okay, guys? Well, enjoy.